This is the Global Economic Commodities Scrap Metal and Recycling Report by our Bentley roll-off trailer and lugger truck, July 6, 2021. U.S. weekly crude steel production fell to 1.835 million tons, an 82.7% steel mill utilization rate versus 90% in mid-2008. Steel mills continue low production despite surging demand. WTI crude oil price rose to $75.16 a barrel, a 3+ year high, as OPEC and OPEC Plus are meeting this week about increasing production. U.S. weekly oil rig count rose to 376, still down 76.8% from 2014's high. U.S. rigs are only slowly rising with higher prices. U.S. weekly crude oil production was steady at 11.1 million barrels per day, still down 15.3% from pre-COVID high. It's not clear how much of the current lower production is due to the historic U.S. government deal with OPEC to actually lower U.S. production to get global prices up. Scrap steel number one HMS export buying price Philly fell to $405 a gross ton, near a 10-year high as supply caught up with demand. Scrap steel number one HMS price was steady at $461.67 a gross ton, with upward price pressure for July is now seeing as cooling. Hot rolled coil steel price rose to $87.74 per hundredweight, a record high, and is forecast to go higher on surging demand and tight supply due to limited production. Copper price was steady at $4.28 a pound, still down 10% off May's high on slowing demand in China, which is 50% of global demand. Aluminum price rose to $1.14 a pound, $25.21 a metric ton, the highest since August 2011 on tight supply and robust demand in automotive and construction. China's June Caixin manufacturing PMI fell to 51.8, the lowest in 3 months, as new orders eased, exports were flat, but backlogs rose. Canada's June IHS manufacturing PMI fell to 56.5, but was the 12th month of expansion on stronger demand, while raw material shortages continue. U.S. June new jobs added 850,000, the highest in 10 months, as leisure, hospitality, and education added the most jobs. The U.S. unemployment rate rose to 5.9%, which is good news and bad news. The good news is there is great upside and lower wage inflation. The bad news is millions are still unemployed. U.S. weekly initial jobless claims fell to 364,000, a new pre-pandemic low on less COVID restrictions, fast vaccinations, and government support. U.S. June IHS manufacturing PMI was steady at 62.1 from May's record high on improvements in operating conditions. Also on ongoing supply disruptions as labor shortages continue. Wall Street Dow Jones Industrial Average rose 362 points to 34,786, near a record high. This was on the solid job growth and the unexpected increase in the unemployment rate. Note that higher unemployment keeps interest rates by the Fed lower. Tarp systems for dumps and roll-off trucks and roll-off trailers are for sale at Bentley. Pioneer, Rollright, and more. Tarps, arms, motors, cylinders, and more. Buy online at www.bentley.com or call Bentley at 734-722-8100. As always, feel free to call or email me with any questions, and we hope all have a safe and profitable week.